Out of the community that we're building over in school, and definitely would love to see a lot more of you guys plugging in and being part of it. So, you know, you know where to find me. I decided I'm gonna stop chasing people. I'm pretty visible. I'm out there. If you don't know where to find me, it's not that you don't know, it's you're not ready. But you know what they say, when the student's ready and all that, teacher appears. So everybody on Instagram, see you later. Thanks for the chat. Rachel, thanks for the laugh. I appreciate you. Where can you send me your pitch? Yeesh. Um, um, if you standing on your hands, I'll listen. If you're not, I'm not gonna listen. See ya. Send it to my DM. Hey guys, sorry I was finishing up a live. What's going on this morning? Where's everybody? Sharon, what's going on? I need some cameras on. Amanda, Lisa, Jennifer. It's not required. It's not required. Like I've decided to relax my rules a little bit and not make you guys turn on your cameras, except when we're actually role playing. I just want to say this before we get started. Um, how you participate here is how you participate out there. You try and get this money or not? Like let's see you. Like let's put the work in. So why are we here, guys? Really quickly. Hold on a second. There we go. Okay, so at my script practice, we take tough objections and we turn them into smooth wins. So you can show up, get sharp, walk out there and handle any objection, any question, just like a seasoned professional. And that's what we're here to do. So I appreciate you guys being here. I believe in starting on time so I can be fair. Oh, I don't have my camera on. Y'all weren't gonna tell me nothing, huh? I'm just sitting here talking, and I look up and I was like, "Where am I?" Y'all supposed to let me know. Y'all not looking out for me. Anyhow, I want to get started like we always do. For me, I love to hear wins, and I don't know if you can talk, but Anita, I know you shared a win, and if you can unmute, I think it's really important for people to hear how what happened with the FISBO. Like, if you're open to sharing.
Yeah, but she was well, I did the pre-qualification, qualified her, and then I had a preview. Actually, it's a listening presentation. And then when I went there yesterday, she was really nice. I used the script that you had given us on Friday. I kind of rewrite it, reread it. At the end of the presentation, that's what I kind of smooth out. But at the end, she was like, "Sure, I'll let you know." But she was like, "I like the way you approaches. You wasn't too pushy. Most of the agents that do come here, they want to just get the listing and not really help or have any options in helping me sell this house."
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I have to tell you, I was not under the impression that it was a listing presentation you were going on.
No, yeah, it was a listing presentation. Yeah, because I
Okay.
pre-qualified her and then I sat down with her, did my listing presentation that I did. I usually do. So I fumbled. I know I did fumble
It's
because
okay.
if she, yeah.
Well, listen, I mean, we
So
all fumble. Let me ask you a question though. When you say you pre-qualified, the first question when we pre-qualify is when I come to your house for our meeting and you feel comfortable with me and you know I can sell your home, do you plan on listing with me? Did you ask that question?
yeah, I did ask that question and her response was if anything that you say makes sense, if it bring a value, yes. But I do have another agent in mind that I work with. I have a friend agent. Yeah.
Okay. So when you asked for the business and she said, I'll let you know, what was your response? And if you're okay with this, I want this to be a teachable moment for everybody. So I hope are you okay with me coaching you through this?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
So,
So what was your response?
ask the question again.
Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry about that. So at the end, when you were asking for the opportunity and she said, I'll let you know. How did you
Yeah.
respond? Where did you take the conversation after she said that?
Well, I said, would you be open-minded? We just working together. If you have any questions, I could be a source of your help of resource. She said, well, I do have an agent that is a friend. And I said, let me ask you this. How did you come up with your price? That was my last question. She said, well, the agent that I work with came up with a price and did some comparables around here. So I said, when we did go over the price, did you see, how you were helping your other neighbors sell their house? And she said, well, you're kind of right. But right now, if I have questions, I'll just go with my friend as an
Okay.
agent.
Okay. So guys, you guys, if you're on here listening, hey Cynthia, hey Sean, hey Teddy, if you guys are on here listening to what Anita said, her response was when the lady said, "I'll let you know." I'd like to hear from two or three people on what she could have said differently. Anybody have any thoughts on what she could have said when the seller said, "I'll let you know"?
It sounds like maybe she has some hesitation, and I would have
Mm-hmm.
dug into why do you have some doubt? It sounds
Yeah.
like she has some unanswered questions.
Yeah. It definitely sounds like that. And so how would you have dug into that?
Well, what
You
do you
mean
need
maybe?
to think about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is her hesitation more because this is somebody she knows? And so when it's someone you're familiar with, not just like a stranger, a random agent, maybe she feels some type of allegiance to that person. And that is the why she has to wait.
Well,
Well,
that's a
that's a
great
great
question.
question.
Oh, there's some feedback. That's a great question, but my question would have been, if you have that allegiance, why am I here? Like you invited me out to come out and you said on the phone that if you like what I had to say and you saw value, you would entertain working with me. So what was it about my presentation? What didn't I answer? What
Mm.
questions do you still have? Like that's where I would have loved to see you go because you did this close in the beginning when you pre-qualified. She said, "Well, yeah, if I see your value, I'll list with you." Then you're there, and she's like, "Well, I'll let you know." Instead of going into price and everything else, I would hold her to what she said. It's uncomfortable though. I do get that's a bit of an
Yeah.
uncomfortable conversation, right?
Yeah, it's uncomfortable. But when I got in the car, I said maybe I said why I started asking myself this question, why didn't she sign with her agent friend? That was the question I should have kind of brought up when I was there. If she has this agent friend, why didn't she sign up or list it with the agent friend?
So this is where, and Sharif, I'm coming to you in a second. This is where be transparent, be vulnerable here so that we can help you and it'll help other people be vulnerable. Did
Yeah.
you not ask the question because you didn't think of it, or you were nervous about asking that question and being that direct?
I didn't think about it.
Okay. So
Yeah.
here's what I'll say to that, and that's okay, right? I bet you'll think
Yeah.
about it next time, right? Because it's going to be
Yes.
top of your head. But this is why we need to practice it. Like what you guys have to understand. You've been hearing people say all the time, "Got to put the reps in. Got to put the reps in. Got to put the reps in." You got to put the reps in. You need to tell your role
Mm,
play partner, "Here's what I need you to say to me. Hey, I'm going to think it over. I got this friend." Like that scenario you went through, you should be
mm,
role playing that so that it's comfortable because it is an uncomfortable conversation. And you need to say, like, why am I here? Why haven't you signed with your friend already? If they're such a great option, they're giving you all this information. Help me understand why you haven't listed with them.
mhm.
And then learn how to
Yeah.
zip it and listen for the response. So at least you
Mm.
listen. I could write a book on all the mistakes I made going on appointments. But I got
Yeah.
better because I made those mistakes and I learned something from them. So as long as you learn, and
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is.
I did learn from it. I learned because I got there late. That kind of fostered me. I'm always on time.
Hmm.
So that just threw me off because GPS and everything and picking up my kids. So it kind of fostered me up and getting my head together and getting my questions all lined up. So that I knew that was my mistake. That I'm usually, prepared and everything. I'll even practice before I go. But as soon as I got in the car, I said, wait, why didn't you just ask that question?
You
Yeah.
were frazzled, which is one of the reasons why the rule of thumb for everybody in here should be whenever your appointment is, half an hour before you're there, right? You are in the yard, not in the yard, in front of the house in your car, reading through your scripts, looking over the comps, getting comfortable because traffic comes up, things come up, right? Me, the way I operate, if I'm hiring you to do something, you show up late, I don't care why you're late. It's like if you say you're going to be here. And so I don't hire people just because they show up late. And that's why when we are learning the script, it's like, hey, it's 11. I have an appointment at 11 and I'm here. We do that to show the seller that you do what you say. So now all the
Mhm.
agents that didn't show up on time are standing out to that agent for the wrong reason. I'm standing out for the right reason. So yeah, and then also on top of that, you get flustered. You're like, I'm late. You're flustered. You're off your game, and so everything from there can kind of go downhill. Which is another reason too, Anita. We practice doing things like, hey, I'm here, it's 11 o'clock. Like, you want to practice even the intro, because if you mess that up, then that kind of messes up your confidence too. And I've been there and done that too. I appreciate you. Thank you for willing to be coachable. And I know that you took something from this, and I know next time you will ask the questions, right?
Yeah, yes.
And here's what I'll tell you. I call her back today after this call. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't ask you this question because it just slipped my mind. If your friend was the right option, why haven't you listed with her? Or if your friend was the right option, why did you have me come out? I would call tonight.
Right. Okay.
Because her gut's telling her friend ain't the right option. Because if she was, she would have hired her already.
That's true. Yeah.
So remember that. Okay, cool. Circle back. Let me know what happens. I'm curious. I'm curious.
Thank you.
I have a
Sharif,
question.
yeah, yep. Who was
Now,
that?
I know
Jennifer,
she
go ahead.
was saying that the lady complimented on the fact that she wasn't pushy. And would that question have pushed her into the pushy zone? And if maybe that would have affected, or either in her head or in the client's head, like, because she specifically said she wasn't pushy, and that definitely goes into that ballpark.
I think for your typical agent, they would have not asked a question because they don't want to be looked at as pushy. Because the person already made a point to say, like, listen, the reason you're here, you're not going after the listing like everyone else. However, she gave her the opportunity for the listing. Now it's time to show her why you want to hire me. You want to hire me because I'm a bulldog. I fight for the opportunities, just like I'm going to fight to sell your home. So when you are asking me, like, oh, I don't want people to be pushy, I am not being pushy for me to get the business. I'm being pushy to help you get this property sold. Because are you aware of what happens in the spring when more houses hit the market? Are you aware of how that's going to affect you if we don't get this home on the market soon? Like, you can make it where you're coming from contribution and being pushy to get them going versus being pushy to get you a listing, if that makes sense. Yeah. Amanda, I'm gonna come to you in a second. Or who was that? Shanira, I'm gonna come to you in a second. Kevin, go ahead.
I was a little bit late here. I may have missed that question that you posed to that lady who was, and I apologize. Was that question about why I am here? Why did I even
Yes.
come?
So
This,
it was
I missed that. Sorry.
it was a FISBO that she handled really well, and the FISBO gave her an opportunity for a listing presentation. And she was upfront that she had a friend who was a realtor, but when Anita went out there, she was told, if you do a good job, I'd be open to working with you. And when she went through her presentation, a lady was just like, well, I'll let you know. I got my friend. And so that's why I was saying, ask the question, well, if you have the friend, why am I here? If you have the person who you are confident can sell the home, why are you not listed with them? That's where we were going with that whole conversation.
Okay. All right, I appreciate it. Sorry about being late. Thank you.
No, all good, all good. Sharif, I'm sorry, man. What's up, dude?
Yeah, you're good. I was just gonna say, the reason why she hasn't listed with the friend that she knows is because she doesn't trust them. People only do business with people that they trust and that they know personally. And I think my question would have been, well, especially if I was in front of the seller, my question would have been, hey, like, what's this agent doing that I'm not? Like, what is he doing? What is he or she doing differently? Like, what are they giving you differently? And I'll just go about that, and then I would just go, me personally, I'm straight up with everybody. Like, whether I feel pushy, I make you feel pushy or not, like, at the end of the day, I'll make a joke out of it. Hey, like, I don't have a gun hold up to your head, so you can't really call me pushy. So I'll just ask the question, hey, like, do you not trust the agents? And however, that makes them feel, make you feel like, oh well.
Yeah.
But I would just simply ask them, hey, like, what are they doing differently that I'm not? And then just go about it that way.
Yeah, and I love what you said about being friends. I have make sure ain't nobody on the call. I have friends that do investments and do flips, and they raise money, and they're always asking, hey, you want to get in on this deal? And I'm like, I'm rooting for you. But you're my friend. I know you. I'm not putting no money with you, right? It's kind of like when it comes to business, even though you're hoping that people succeed, you know how they roll and how they are. So you're going to be a little skeptical to, hire them or work with them because friends and family, you know them. And it's not always the best situation. Even though you want to support them, it's not the right decision to make.
Yeah,
Shanir,
100%.
did you have your hand up, Shanir? I'm sorry.
You ended up saying what I was thinking, which is that often when I talk to these prospects, when I sound too nice, and this is feedback my role play partners give me too, sounding too nice, like they're just going to walk all over you because they don't like us, they don't trust us. They usually, obviously, they're listing by owner because they don't want to work with a realtor, right? And so, coming from the mindset and perspective of, I am an agent and I can help you net the most money possible. And how can we do that, right? Once we get them an offer at the right price and terms, right? That's just the beginning. Then we got to sell the house 2, 3 more times after that. So being able to have the conversation of coming from, as you mentioned, David, from the perspective of, okay, well, I am confident, and because I'm confident that I can help you net the most money possible, then it's not being pushy, it's being confident in your ability to help them as a professional agent.
Absolutely. And there are some real estate coaches that I know that tell people like, if you're nice, you're not going to get the business. Like they coach people to be mean and rude. I know people like that. And that's not how you have to be. You can be firm and direct and still be nice. You know, I was negotiating on, if you guys saw on school, I mentioned that I negotiated this corporate contract I was working on. I mean, I was pretty nice when they asked me to do something. I was like, I'm not doing that. That's not what I get paid for. I was nice about it, but I was firm and direct. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not doing that. If that's what you want, we can have another conversation about a side contract, but that's not what you pay me for. And I wasn't rude about it. I was very firm and very direct, and I know my value, and we don't work for free around here. Where they do that? Not around here. So, all right, so let's get into it. I want to hear one more win. One more win this week. I think I see Michelle trying to come off mute, so I'm gonna give her a quick second. Go ahead, Michelle.
Hi, David, and
Hey.
happy Wednesday, everybody. I have a listing appointment tomorrow, and I
Nice.
pre-prepared him because I have an introductory email that I send out to let them know, who I am, what my business philosophy is. So I kind of bond with them that way, if you would. And I've had like 2 conversations. I've had 3. And he's a very talkative seller. He's told me all these things about his, previous experience. So I feel like I know the guy, and I'm gonna walk in there tomorrow like I do know him.
Yep. And take that listing if you want it. You may get there and not want it. However, if you want it, it's yours. Go get it.
Yeah.
When they're willing to
I feel
open
good
up and
about
they
it.
talk and you listen. And Michelle, this is why I tell people take notes, because people have certain ways they talk and certain buzzwords they use. And if you can kind of mirror and match him and build even more rapport, and he feels so comfortable with you, he'll sign that contract.
I believe that. I feel that.
Let's celebrate that.
Yeah.
Go get that listing. Go get that listing. See, I wear this hat, guys, for a reason. I don't believe in no. What's this hat stand for? Somebody just unmute and tell me. What's this NY stand for? And I'm not a Yankees fan. Yeah, it stands for not yet. I believe it's not a no, unless they list with somebody else or sell it themselves. It's a not yet. I'm gonna keep circling the block until you give me a shot. I don't give up. I just keep showing up day after day, call after call, and that's what I want you guys to do as well. So let's get into it. Raise your hand. I need 3 to 5 volunteers. Now, I'm not going to tell you what we're doing. I want to get you out of your comfort zone. Okay, I see Taylor. I see Sharif. Cynthia, that's what I'm talking about. All right. And I need 2 more. Y'all stop by. And there we go, Anita. And Anita, I may skip you because you had a chance to talk a little bit, and I want to make some other people talk. I see Michelle. But you know what? And Teddy and Kevin, that's what I'm talking about. All right. You guys are not allowed to pitch. Taylor, I'm starting with you. You can't pitch me. 3 questions. I want you to do 3 deep discovery questions to kind of understand my situation a little bit more. It's kind of like Michelle was talking about. This guy opened up. She knows him now. She's got information, right? I find the issue is we pitch too quickly and we don't understand enough so that we can actually close. So here's my situation. So I'm in my late 50s. My wife and I, our kids are grown. They're out of the house. There's really no rush, but we're starting to think about our next steps in getting this house on the market. And we kind of tossed around, waiting until the spring, Taylor. And we've lived here. It's been about 20 years. House was perfect for us when we had kids, but it's just too much space. Taxes are extremely high. It just went up $4,000 this year. So, we're not desperate to move, but we're starting to think about simplifying our lives a little bit. So, you know, that's what I'm gonna leave you with. And now I need you to get into your 3 questions. I gave you enough. I saw you taking notes, which is what everyone should be doing. So you don't have to try to remember what I just said. Take some freaking notes. So my man, I love that. So you get 3 questions. You cannot pitch. You cannot say, well, if I can show you how I can get your, no pitching. Questions. Give them to me.
Okay. So I hear that you're like an empty nester and kind of ready for that next phase in life. So what does that look like for you? What if you were to downsize, where would that be, in the same area or would that be in a different area altogether? Or what would you do after you sold this?
We've got a couple hot spots on our list, but for us, it would be, warmer climate for sure, and definitely a smaller house, definitely less upkeep, less stairs.
Okay. So less stairs, less upkeep, basically a simple life all the way around, right?
hmm
And what's it going to feel like when you have that simpler life?
Just simple. More money in the bank, just being able to enjoy life and not spending time keeping the house clean and just simpler life.
Okay. And you have a couple hot spots that you're thinking about?
hmm
Warmer climate, what does that look like? Florida, Texas?
Arizona potentially, definitely not Florida. Well, crazy's out there. No Florida. Arizona, maybe Dallas. Lived in Houston, so potentially Houston or Scottsdale.
Okay. And what's important to you about Arizona or Dallas?
So you got your 3 questions. So
Okay.
I do have to ask you though. I said less upkeep, less stairs. What do I mean by that? Less stairs.
Some
Oh,
knee problems.
potentially. That's not what I meant, but potentially. Is that important for you to know? Could that have given you some clarity? So how would you, if I just want to go back to that. So less upkeep and less stairs.
Is that a ranch style home?
Yeah. But ask me about the stairs. Why is that important?
Hey, David, tell me a little bit more about your family.
It's just it's my wife and I. My kids are gone, but my mother-in-law is going to be moving in with us, and she's not very mobile.
Yeah, can you tell me a little bit more about your mother-in-law?
I mean, she's retired, early stages of dementia, and on top of that, she's got some issues with her foot, so some gout, so she can't really deal with a lot of stairs. So we're just kind of thinking ahead, future pacing on where we want to be to make sure that she's in the right house and we can help take care of her.
Okay,
I'm
so
gonna pause you right there.
yeah,
Can I just say, can you guys understand, like, if Taylor had gone down that road and asked that question, how much more information he would have about not only my urgency for moving and why it's important to me, but also when it's time to help me find something else, what I would be looking for. Do you see just leaning into that little thing could really help?
yeah, that was the biggest question that I put a star next to when you said that because you emphasized less stairs.
Yep. However, for me, when people used to say that to me and they were like, I'm in my late 50s, I was thinking just bad knees, like Kevin said, like they just don't want to deal with the stairs anymore. I assume stuff like that. When people say I want to downsize, I'm thinking, oh, they got to save some money. I mean, it's just, we make these assumptions all the time. I would tell you, if you're assuming like, yeah, it's probably this, I would tell you to stop and ask. Tell me a little bit more about why less stairs is important to you. He leaned in. Tell me a little bit more about your family. I would have went right towards the stairs. Less stairs. What did you mean by that? Help me understand why that would be beneficial to you. Does that make sense, Taylor?
Yeah.
All right, cool. What? I don't know, man. I'm trying to read you. You're like, what
You
are you
know,
thinking? There's something going on there.
I'm just deep in thought because, like, I don't know, Sean's amazing. Like, I've heard him before in the past. I just don't know why I don't pick up on it time after time. I feel like all of these clues, and I feel like to some extent, I don't know, you would know more than I do, but everybody gets these clues and these little hints, but we don't pick up on them. And I don't know if that's because we're just thinking of the next script to say, but even I wasn't even worried about that. It was just, I don't know.
I would just say this. So for me, it used to be I was already thinking about what I wanted to say, so I was kind of missing some of that stuff. That's not the case with you. I would just say slow down and be in the conversation. Be more curious. That's it. Just
How do you be curious without being pushy? Because you get the person who, well, I mean, how do you, let's just leave it at that. How do you be curious without being pushy?
well, listen, you just ask a question. You read the room, though. If you're being pushy and they perceive it as being pushy, they're going to let you know, like, well, why do you need to know that? Like, that's none of your business. They'll let you know. And then it's all about how you navigate that conversation. I would tell you, I ask those questions because for me, it's not just about a transaction. Like, I love helping people when I know I'm helping them get to a better situation. So for me, it's important to know what that is and why that's important. If you don't want to share that with me, respect. That's just how I'm wired.
I
So
think
I
the
would just
Ford acronym would be a good one to use. Use the Ford acronym.
family occupation, right? Yeah, I mean, some people use. I don't use that. I used to. I stopped. I got away from that because I found sometimes people just want to tell you everything, and it's like it turns into an hour conversation. I don't really want to know all
Well,
that.
I'm
So
just want to get into like occupation and a little bit about the
yeah,
family. I don't need to get into
yeah, I hear you there. Just a little bit, just to
everything.
open it up, warm it up a little
Yeah.
bit. Okay, I got you. Who do I have up next? Cynthia, how you doing?
Doing well. How
All
are
right,
you?
I'm waiting for you to throw another $2 million up there. I'm watching you. I'm like,
Oh my goodness.
I talked to Betty, and she's like, I went to the open house, and I saw Cynthia, I saw Kelly, and somebody else in there, Jimmy Mortgage.
Yes,
He
yes,
had everybody showing
yep.
up.
Had the
That's
whole team. Yep.
that's what I'm talking about. I love it. I love it. All right, so here we go. So Cynthia, yeah, I appreciate you reaching out to me. I'm being transferred for a job. My wife stays at home and takes care of our kids. Our timeline is pretty tight though. This promotion came out of nowhere. I wasn't really expecting it, but it's something I've always wanted. So I'm really excited about it. Um, my company just is in another state and they just offered it to us and we have to be there within 60 days. It feels really sudden because we weren't planning to move probably for another 5 years. So we need to balance, speed, but also making sure that we get the right agent and don't leave any money on the table because we're moving to California and it's quite expensive. So that's kind of my situation. So you cannot pitch me. You cannot close. 3 questions.
All
Where are
right.
you
Well,
thinking?
congratulations on the promotion. What exactly do you do?
I'm in tech.
Oh,
So
you're
I'm
in
gonna
tech?
be a COO of a tech company, kind of my dream job. And if it goes well, the stock options it could be a life changing thing for our family.
That's amazing. Well, congratulations to you. And you said your wife stays at home with the children?
Yes, yes.
How many children do you have?
We have two. We have twins, and they're 5.
5-year-old twins. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. So you're busy, huh? So this job transfer came just in time.
Understatement. Understatement. It's bananas. 2 boys. So yeah.
Wow. Congratulations. And you said you have a tight timeline. You need to be there in 60 days.
I have to be there in 60 days, and ideally, I don't feel right about leaving my wife here with the kids. So ideally, I'd like to get us all out there. But if the home doesn't sell, then she's gonna have to stay here.
Okay, so you don't have a home lined up already. Do you have somewhere to go?
I have somewhere to go. Corporate housing.
Corporate housing.
Corporate housing, but we can't sell a house while we're all both living there. She's got to be here to maintain the house, especially in the wintertime, pipes freezing, all the things. So we wouldn't feel comfortable leaving the house vacant. So if we can't sell it, she and the boys will have to stay here, which is really not an option that we want to pursue.
Absolutely. So Dave, oh, you said don't pitch. I was gonna say, when can we get started?
That's what we always want to do, right? I want you to slow down a little
Uh,
bit, though.
so how would you feel if the house didn't sell? Or what would be the next plan?
I mean, it's got to sell. We got to get out of here. I mean, I guess worst case scenario, we could rent it out, but I've done that before and had a bad experience, so I don't really want to go that route.
Okay, and how much do you owe on the mortgage?
I don't want you to go there. Don't waste your question with that yet.
I don't know. How much?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know, let me, all right.
So
I
you
don't want
have
to help
job
you.
transfer. You need to get there in 60 days.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You need to get there in 60 days. You don't want your wife and kids to be left behind.
Yeah.
So we need to get started.
I don't want to be left behind. Ask me about
Okay.
that. Ask me about that.
I mean, how would you feel? How would you feel if I've asked that already though?
Who's it really going to affect?
Tell me more.
So it's really going to affect, somebody yell it out. Who's it really going to affect if this home don't sell?
Wife.
Wife.
My wife. My wife.
Mm-hmm.
So what could you ask me about that situation? I know I'm putting you on the spot, and I know this
No,
is a muscle. So
That's fine.
let's fumble through it. Like, this is why we here. This is script practice. This is why we do it.
So if she were to be left behind, what would she do? Like, does she have family? Like who?
We don't have any. I mean, it's just us, unfortunately. And we have friends, but they have young kids too. So I just don't know if we can really depend on them.
Well, it sounds like we need to get moving, but I have to ask some more questions.
She's a closer. she just want to close. If you had to ask one more question, I'll let you off the hook. If you had to ask me one more question.
I mean, do you want to sell the home as is? Do you?
I don't have time to do any work. It's got to be as is. I got to be there in 60 days. We have time for nothing, Cynthia. We just got to get it sold.
All right. So I'm ready to go.
I'm going to pause. Somebody give her one thing she could have said. Where could she have taken this conversation? Happy wife, happy life. That's right. Oh, I didn't know Kelly was here. Hey, Kelly. Anybody else have any questions?
All of that for you and take all that burden away from you and your wife and make it really easy, seamless transition for you. How soon would you like to get started?
Is that pitching? That's pitching. Without the pitch.
Well, is a management company an option?
Yeah, but I don't really want to go that route. I'd rather close this chapter, to pull my money out. I'd rather close the chapter, get it sold.
So, David, in a perfect world, what would you like to have happen?
In a perfect world, I'd like to get this thing sold day one, get packed up, and in 60 days, I'd like to have my family and my kids on the plane so we could get out of here. Tired of this cold weather, and really don't feel really comfortable about leaving my wife here by herself.
What happens if you have to leave her here by herself?
It's probably going to mean me flying back every weekend, and helping her and giving her some relief, which is going to be tough with this position I have. So I'll do it, but it's definitely not ideal.
And how does your wife feel about it?
Really frustrated. She's happy for me in the promotion, but we weren't really planning on doing a move like this with the kids being so young. So she's not really happy about it, which I completely understand.
Okay. Is there a way that I can help you relieve some of that frustration and pressure?
I mean, Matt, if you gave me a plan on how to get this thing sold in 60 days, I mean, that solves all my problems.
That's cool, David. And look, most agents would probably pitch you at this point, but that's really not my curiosity. That's not why I'm asking. I'm just kind of asking just to get an idea of what your timeline would look like, so that I could come over, or I could possibly at least just give you some info to marinate on. I mean, how soon would you want me to either do that, talk to your wife, or mail you something? Like, what are you looking to get done here?
Okay. I'm going to pause right there. At that point in time, like, Matt, I served it up for him. He was like, just, okay, I'm coming by. I can get this done. Did you see what he did there, though? Like, people are running away from pain, or they're running towards pleasure, right?
The pain.
Yeah. You guys saw that? Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
So even though
he's already motivated, the buyers or the sellers already motivated, they're telling you, we're ready to go, you still want to create more pain.
That also solves Taylor's issue too.
Yeah.
See how I was just genuinely being curious because I just really did care. Yeah, what's that like for your wife?
It's not that I
What
don't
is
care. I
what
do
is
care, but
Oh, I'm not no,
No,
excuse me.
no,
already
no.
No,
there.
I
You
know, no,
care.
no,
It's
no, I'm
just
not saying
learning
that.
how to build the questions up and actually get me to give you more information. Like I was being pretty transparent there. This
Mhm.
is going to be a negative thing if this home does not sell.
And
And
yeah, I
he
was
asked the
eager
right
to help
question
you
where I'm
with
like,
that.
if you can get this sold in 60 days, that's how you can solve the problem. You know, in the real life scenario, Matt would have been like, so if I can do it in 30, I'm your man, right? Hell yeah. Okay. Well, when can I come by? Like he would
Right, you wanted me to slow play it, bro. I'd have closed you 20
I know
minutes
what you're,
ago.
but he would have
I'm like
closed.
Cynthia. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So here's what I'm gonna say here. What Matt just did. How many of you guys wrote down the questions he asked? So here's what I'm gonna do, because here's the whole thing. In order to get better and learn these questions, you got to write them down and then you got to go practice them, right? So I'm going to load up this class on YouTube and share it back to the school community because I actually want to see if you guys are going to take the time to go watch it. I want to see how many views this video has. It's going to tell me something about y'all on this call right now. Are y'all here for infotainment or are y'all here because y'all want to learn to go get some business? Because what Matt just said, if you wrote those questions down and then kind of, I would load those questions up to chat. Give me 10 more questions like this that I can ask somebody about this situation. Like if you guys are really serious about it, remember the video, are you interested in being successful or are you committed to it? If you're committed to it, you go back and you fast forward that video to about the 30-minute mark and you write down all that stuff that Matt said, all those questions, right? So I'm gonna put that video on there from YouTube and never mind, I'm gonna be quiet. Okay, I'm gonna be quiet. So who do I have up next? Teddy, what's up? Good job, Cynthia.
Look,
Thank you.
You ready, Teddy?
all right. Yep, let's do it.
So, Teddy, I really appreciate you coming out, man. This is a family home. I was raised in this home, and when my parents passed, I came and bought the home. I was raised here. My kids are raised here, so we're pretty, emotionally attached to this house, and we're pretty cautious about who buys it. Like we just don't want anybody, and we don't want somebody who's going to come in here and tear it down and build one of those big McMansions, right? So, I just wanted you to come out. I wanted to maybe see a little bit more about you, and that's why I invited you out. 3 questions.
So, David, let me ask you. I get the that you don't want just anybody to buy the house and tear it down. So, what is your time frame for leaving?
For us, we don't have a huge rush. I mean, we like to get it done by end of year at the latest before next winter.
Okay. So, how 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 is it wait a minute, I'm getting stuck here. Hold on.
That's okay. It's okay.
So you were raised you're raised there at the house
Mm-hmm.
and you bought it from your parents. And how long have you owned it?
Oh, man, I've been here. My kids are 22 and 24, about 26 years.
26 years.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what is important to you? The most important thing is that someone doesn't come and knock the house down, or is it trying to get the most money out of the house?
Yes, I don't want somebody to come knock it down. There's a lot of memories here. This house is pretty special, and I feel like this neighborhood is just being inundated with all these McMansions, and this home has a
Right.
lot of charm and character and a lot of memories. And, for me,
Right.
yeah, I wouldn't want to see that happen. So for me, who buys a house, that's really the most important thing.
So what I'm hearing is that you really don't, it's more important for you for someone not to knock it down than it is as you having a time frame. Right. So this can go a whole year and a half until you find that person where you feel comfortable with.
Okay. Great questions. I'm going to pause you there. I want to ask, and I'm going to put a couple people on the spot here who haven't spoken. So hopefully you guys are paying attention and you guys aren't watching TV shows and on your Instagram and Netflix right now. Yes, I'm coming to you. You already know it. You might as well just unmute because I just know you know I'm coming to you. So go ahead and unmute. Let me see if you know. Dang, Violet, you didn't get my clue? I'm coming to you. She's like, damn it, David. What's the question? I just pour my heart out. Parents raised here. I was raised here. I got the house from my parents. I raised my kids here. Tons of memories. Who buys this house? It's really important to me. Blah, blah, blah. What you gonna ask me?
I understand how important this is to you, and I'm going to do my best to find the right family so that you can feel confident that it's going to the right people. It's going to be well taken care of. So you can move on to the next chapter. So let's get going. Sign right here.
Nope, you can't pitch. And I didn't hear a question. I want a question. Can't pitch.
Okay. Why is that so important to you, David?
Like I said before, just a lot of memories, a lot of experiences here at the house. And it's just, I wouldn't want to see it go to the wrong person who won't respect, the home and the traditions and the structure of this house. It's just a well-built colonial. They don't build them like this anymore. And I want somebody who would appreciate that.
I understand where you're coming from, but once you get that check, you won't care what they do to renovate or whatever you want. The important thing is that I get you to the next chapter as quickly as possible. And
Not really in a rush, though.
Not really in a rush. Okay, then I'm going to do my best to find that ideal buyer for you. Meanwhile, let's focus on your objective.
Which is what?
Which is moving forward.
You're trying to get that check. I'm not mad at you, though. Like, she want that money. And listen, we all do, right?
Yes.
Listen, this is something we're doing that's a little different because I've been paying attention to a lot of calls and I've recognized people just aren't asking. They're not plugging in. Man, when people can feel heard and they know you care about them and like you really get it, it's a different connection. It's a different connection. So I just wanted to help you guys slow it down a little bit. Oh, Brittany, what's up? Let's see if you can do this 5 minutes or less. Me and Brittany got down to like our last 12 seconds on the podcast. What you got for me, Brittany?
Yeah. I would ask, like, okay, how would you feel once we do find that perfect buyer? Also, where are you planning on going to next? I don't know if I missed that part, but I would definitely ask, how would you feel if when we find the right buyer, hear what they say, and then ask them, okay, where are you planning on moving to next? And then try to get them talking about their next move, and then try it that way.
I'm not mad at that, Brittany. However, I would ask a different question. Like, man, it sounds like to me, like with all the memories here, who buys this house is important. What's the right buyer look like for you? Who's the right person to buy this house?
That's true. Yeah, you can definitely ask, like, when you think about that next buyer, what does that buyer look like? And once they name all those, things, okay, I'm going to work on finding you that perfect buyer, and then go from there.
Okay. I'm not mad at that. I will tell you guys that one of the houses I bought in New Jersey, it was on the market high, and we got it. It was overpriced, but we got it like $200,000 less. And the seller and I got pretty close. He told me the reason why we sold you this house is because I know his mother passed and she owned the home, right? It was an estate sale. He said, after reading your letter, I felt like my mother would have wanted you and your family to live here. Just the way you talk about your daughters and what you like to do. Like, we felt like you guys were the right family. And like, after we bought the house and fixed it up, we invited their whole family to come back and see what we did to the house. We showed that we kind of respected some things in the house. It was a cool thing. It's cool. The ring lease. It was amazing. So those are the questions that we need to be asking. Let me stop for a second before I go to Kevin. I know this isn't firing back and forth. Objections. Put in the chat for me just so I have some context. And don't put this in there to make me feel good. Tell me if we're hitting the mark here. On the scale of 0 to 10, 0 being, David, don't you ever do this shit again. I do not like this on the call. This is not helpful. To a 10 being, man, I didn't really get it, but this is really making a lot of sense for me. And I understand maybe why I'm not having success, because I'm always closing so quickly. I'm not taking the time to really connect and understand what's important to them. Because when you can help people get what they want and understand their situation, you will get your check down the line. I just need to slow it down a little bit. I won't look at the numbers now. I'll look at them later. I just need to know, because this is your call. You guys are giving your time to be here for me to help you. You need to let me know if I'm helping you, if I'm making this, if you're seeing what I want you to see. This is all the stuff I had to learn. Like, this is not like theory. This is like practical stuff I had to learn how to do, because I got tired of going on listing appointments and not getting the listing, thinking I understood what the motivation was and getting there, and I had no clue. I got tired. I was like, I got to figure this stuff out. And what I learned is I just had to slow down a little bit, not rush to close so quickly. The natural progression of a great presentation is them signing, right? I do a great presentation when I know what to talk about, when I know what your pain points are, when I know what your pleasure points are. How do I know that? When I can slow down and say, help me understand. Tell me a little bit more about that. Why is that important? When you have time to do that and you can actually lean into it and be genuine, not like, help me understand that. I don't quite get it. Don't be phony, but like really be curious, man. People open up. Kev, you ready?
David, can I just say something real quick?
You sure can. And then Kev, stay unmuted, Kev, because I'm gonna come right to you. Hey, Michelle.
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of piggyback with you because, I always say to my sellers and buyers that it's so much my goal that you feel totally comfortable and confident throughout this whole real estate journey. And in order to do that, you want to get all of your questions answered up front. And I say, sometimes people have projected certain things upon you based on their experience in real estate when they bought or when they sold.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have any questions, let's answer all of your questions first before we go any further.
I love that. I love that. And you're doing this too, Michelle. You're showing your value. You're consulting them. You're helping them. We show up and we want to get paid our 6%. You got to show up differently than other people. That's how you show up different. You slow it down a little bit. All right. Kevin, you ready? I know you're ready. So listen, Kev, I've been investing in properties for about 20 years. I usually buy and I usually hold my property. This is actually the first time I'm actually considering selling one of my properties. So I haven't worked with an agent on the sell side before, so I thought I'd fill you out a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Very important thing to interview agents, and I do appreciate it. I do work quite a bit with investors. I understand what investors are going through. And I'm kind of curious, are you just looking to do mostly a 1031 exchange, or are you just wanting to cash out? What is the plan here? What does this sale look like for you?
It's definitely a cash out situation.
Cash out situation, great. Okay. And what would that mean to you? Are you planning on taking that money and traveling the world, setting up a charity? What would it look like after you sell it?
Yeah, doing some traveling sounds really great.
Fantastic. Okay. I have had experience with investors quite a bit, very familiar with 1031 exchange. So what I would like to do is pop by, maybe take a look at the property, or maybe we can hop on Zoom. I'll do some research about the house and whatnot.
Are you pitching me? Are you pitching me? I feel like I'm being pitched right now.
I got you.
Not that it wasn't good. But you can't pitch me.
And I catch myself slipping into that.
That's why we're doing this, because I do it too. I'm guilty of it too. I go to the close and I feel like there's an opening and I need to slow down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Can I tell you something? Like, I have this whole scenario in my head and you did something, so I went with what you did versus what I had to say. Can I tell you what that was?
Sure, yeah, go ahead.
You asked me about the 1031 and what I was planning to do with that money. Like, that's a great question. But instead of letting me answer it, do you know what you did?
I took it into a totally different direction. Yes. Okay. I
You
got
led
you.
me to traveling
Yeah.
and doing, and yeah, traveling is something I want to do, but that's not the important thing. But since you put it out there, I just, yeah, traveling. But that's not it though. That's not the reason I'm selling. I never sell my properties. I'm selling my first property for the first time. I buy and hold and I'm selling. Why is that?
Yeah.
We lead
David,
too much. Are you traveling?
why
Are you
have
going to
you,
do?
why have you held on to these properties for so long?
Well, my strategy was to actually buy and hold and then use these properties for retirement to supplement our income.
Fantastic. And I know you mentioned to me before you own this property for 30 years, so you will make quite a good income on this property.
It's the plan.
So yeah. So why is it important for you to do this right now rather than hold on for another 15, 20 years? Is that even an option for you?
Well, we're only selling the one. My daughter was she was playing basketball. She was going to get a scholarship and got concussed really bad, and it doesn't want to play anymore. So where we thought $80,000 a year tuition was going to be covered, now we find ourselves with that bill, and so we've decided to sell one of our assets to pay for college.
I got you. Well, I think I'm already out of my 3 questions.
But if you had one more, what would it be?
What would it mean to you and your family when you guys accomplish this goal?
I mean, no debt, feel pretty happy that we're able to do that for her. I mean, it wasn't in our game plan, but what a blessing that we can.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, I definitely can relate to what you're saying. Give you an idea. My daughter actually used to be in drugs when she was in high school, and we would have done everything possible to get her into rehab and get her out of that environment. So I can definitely relate to you. So yeah, I can see how that may be a bigger concern for you now than even owning this property.
Listen, man, I like how you just put that personal spin on there. Like, hey, my daughter was dealing with drugs, and like as a parent, there's nothing we won't do for our kids. And I just got to commend you. Like, you have the property, you have the ability to do this. Kudos to you for setting yourself up like that. And so,
and long-term planning for it, and now it's going to pay off. So
yeah.
Why don't we? And now I will probably go foreclose. So why don't we maybe talk a little bit more about this and see how we can get you accomplish this goal?
And so how much more do you know about me? How much better would you be able to close because you didn't lead me and I actually gave you the real reason versus you assuming and I'm just like, yeah, I want to travel.
Funny you mentioned this. This morning I was on a Zoom that actually talked about building a community. And it was really interesting that it was actually an Arabic couple from Dubai. And they are Christians. And they built a similar community in Dubai when they were there. Okay. Now they moved over to the States and they're building the same community here. Okay. So, and when I was talking to them, they were saying that really about 70% of their business comes from that relationship business and understanding what people are wanting to accomplish in life rather than going for an appointment. So, and I clearly understood when I listened to them that they have they're just very decent people. You could just tell. And I think that is the whole purpose of this exercise.
Yes.
The four scenarios that you ran by us, none of them are asking for an appointment within the first 30 seconds.
Right.
And literally, you cannot accomplish an appointment in 30 seconds, in 2 minutes. It needs to be more than 3, 4, 5 minutes, and maybe more.
Yeah, we don't have to rush into it. They're talking, they're opening up. Allow them to share as much information as possible. Hey, Penny, can you unmute real quick? I have a question, then I have to say something to you guys before we go. Where's Penny? There you go. Hey, Penny. So first thing I got to say while you're unmuting, what I appreciate about you, I like people who just like, don't give a 10, like you gave an 8. And I love that. Like, be real. Like, tell me what you got, what you didn't get from this call. My question for you, Penny, is if you thought this call was an 8, what would make it a 10? if you can unmute. That's what I want to know. That's me using my questions, Penny, but it looks like you can't unmute, so you're not going to be able to answer me. Let's see. 3. I see her trying, so I'm like working to give you a second here. All right, Penny, if you're able to unmute, just stay unmuted, and I'll come back to you after I say what I have to say. Really quickly, guys. First and foremost, thank you for being here and showing up for yourself. Like this, this is the tough part about real estate. All right, Penny, you're unmuted. Really quickly, what would have made this a 10? You said it was an 8. I appreciate the honest rating. What would make this a 10 for you?
I think what might make it a 10 for me is people being a little clearer or you being a little clearer on your instruction. So I'm not 100% with you in class today because I was out and I jumped on the call a little bit late. I like the fact that you're like, ask questions. I'm not sure that we have the direction of, other than listening and getting the feedback from what you're saying, if I'm making any sense now. So you say something, and I can't write it down. So for me, because I'm not where I should be, it's, you know, I'll have to go back and rewatch.
No, I love that you share that. And there's a little intentionality behind that, right? Because there's a place to learn the questions and how to really understand the process. That's called Push. Push is actually starting up February 26th. So there is a class where I teach and go a little bit more deeper, more granular in this, and I'll be posting about that. But right now we do have the wait list for Push, and I really want some of you guys to think about investing in yourself. So it's a tax write-off. It's not an expense, it's an investment in yourself. I think you guys can see the power of learning how to ask these questions. I'm going to pause there because my intent was not to talk about Push tonight. This is not a sales push. Here's my intent for what I wanted to say to you guys before we logged off. I'm struggling here. Can I just be direct and real with you guys? Is that okay? Like, I can only be me, and I just got to be direct here. I'm struggling as a coach here because I have people on the call in the community, and I hear all these whys, and people are like, I got to get this. I got to figure this out. If I don't do this, then I got to go find work. I got to go do something else. I have to make real estate work. I'm serious. I'm committed to it. Right. And I hear all that. And you can ask my wife. She's like, why were you up at 5 o'clock in the morning? Like, I could feel you like moving around. Like, why are you not asleep? That's what she said. Why are you not asleep? I'm like, because I know I have these people that I coach, and I want to see them win. And I'm just thinking about what can I do to get them to show up for themselves so that they can win and have a better success in real estate. And I'm trying to think, what can I post today that's going to inspire them and get them fired up? And it's frustrating to me because as a coach, I also remember what it was like being an agent and knowing all the things that I was supposed to do every single day and then making excuses at night on why I didn't do it. It's so easy, but I'll do it tomorrow. I know I'm supposed to make 20 contacts. I only made 5. Right? I get it. And I guess why I see it a little differently right now is because I have a really big why that won't allow me to stop. And it doesn't matter how I feel. Like we were talking the other day, like some freaking days I wake up. I'm trying not to be Richard Pryor tonight, so I'm trying to say freaking instead of other things. But some days I wake up and I literally only have 30%. I only got 60% in my tank, and I'm like I need to bring it today, but I don't have it. I've seen you guys like Brittany. I saw her post like, I need to go to the gym. I don't feel it. Like we feel like that some days. What I need you guys to do is what I do. If I only got 30%, y'all getting 100% of my 30. Because we're not going to always have 100%. I find myself frustrated because I know you want it and I know it's important, but your actions don't show me that. And I don't know what to say or what to do. I was joking earlier, like, do I need to do video standing on my hands to get your attention to hear this message so you can go do the thing? I shouldn't have to, but maybe I'll try to. No, I'm not doing that. I already got shoulder issues. I'm not messing around. But what I want you guys to know is like when I'm doing these things and I'm doing these challenges and I'm doing these streak challenges and I'm like, hey, post this today, do this today. I'm not doing that because I like doing that, doing those things. I'm doing that because I need to be held accountable too. And if I'm telling you guys to do it, I got to do it. I got to lead from here. The problem is we excuse ourselves too easily. We forgive ourselves. We give ourselves too much grace. And I'm not this person that's like, you got to hustle all day, every day, 7 days a week. If you know me, you know that's not me. I'm out hiking every Monday. So I'm not that person that's like hustle culture all day. But I will tell you, when you're working, I want you guys to show up and work for you, not for me. It has nothing to do with me. I'm tired of seeing agents leave real estate. It's happening too much. I'm like, but you about to go work for them 50 hours a week. What? But how many hours did you lead in today? An hour? 90 minutes? What else are you doing? What else is more important than doing the work? It's boring. I know it's boring. I just need you guys to get comfortable with the boredom of focus. Because when you are focused and you're taking all the things like what Matt said, what Brittany said, some of the things Taylor said, Anita said, and you're writing them down and you're getting better every day, then you start seeing the results of all the hard work and all the focus. And then it's a little easier to be focused. I just need you to know it's not going to happen every night. But if you don't show up every day and at least work on getting a little bit better every single day, what are we doing here?
And may I piggyback with you on that, David?
Sure.
You know, the night before, you know, we have to prepare for the next day. When the next day comes, we're supposed to be ready. So, you know, last night, well, every night, I motivate myself for the next day. And I'm not sure if you saw the video that I posted today, but I just kind of, you know, I do kind of like quite a bit of content. So I brainstorm, you know, I read the Bible, you know, I go into my head and I, you know, just come up with things that will motivate myself. So I posted a video that said I was driving across this bridge and, you know, I put it over top of me driving across the bridge and I put the words, whenever you hesitate, the person that has the determination takes your place. Whenever we hesitate, somebody knocks us out the box. So,
yep.
Yeah. So we must motivate ourselves. We must lay hands on ourselves because nobody is coming to save us. Nobody's coming. Nobody's coming.
Nobody's coming. We got to save ourselves. Anita. Listen, I know the call's over. We're a little over 3 minutes, so if you guys got to bounce, it's recorded. I'm this type of person, if I feel led to call you, I'm calling you. If I feel led to say something, I got to say it. So, Anita, I'll let you go, and then we'll wrap up in a second.
I think what it is that when we get into real estate, nobody tells us or gives us this molding that it is your business. This is a business.
Yeah.
And if you don't know how to create a business, start a business, or had a business before, you don't know what it takes to grow that business or work the business.
Yeah.
So we forget that, okay, you are here motivating us. That's great. But you can't push your old log. If the log doesn't want to move, it's not going to move. It's just.
That's true. That's true. And that's one of the reasons, you know, you guys are going to see me rolling out some really good things on the school community, some different training. And I'm being a little bit more direct, saying what I be thinking a lot of times that I don't normally say out loud. But I'm just like, I'm kind of done with lurkers and people just kind of show up. I was on that call. And like, yeah, but what you doing with it, right? I can give it to you, but what you gonna do with it? Like, I'm really wanting only to be around people who are serious and committed. It takes a lot of mental focus and energy to like show up and do these calls and pour into people and give the training and set up guests. Like, I don't do that just for optics. Like, I'm doing that because I want to see you guys win and I want to bring people who are going to share and pour into you and help you grow. But I need you to take that stuff and like do something with it. Brittany?
Sometimes people need to just get sick of their own excuses, and I'm one of them. Um, Now I'm going on 2 years, which last year, January 1st, I started role playing at 7:30 a.m. and cold calling at 8. Before that, I wouldn't do that. The year before, I would make excuses. I would call maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, one day a week, 2 days a week, here and there. I was never committed with it. And then once I saw another agent, less hasn't been doing real estate as long as I have, saw that person going out there winning, getting all these closings, all these deals. And I'm like, dang, that person just started real estate. I've been in real estate for going on 5 years, and I don't have half the business this person does. That person was cold calling, putting their self out there. And I was just tired of feeling bad about myself, looking at somebody else doing better than me. So I was like, I'm tired of my own excuses. So January 1st came around and I started calling, and that's honestly, that has been my fuel. Is I don't want to feel like I'm missing out on something that I could have done, or I'm not getting my full what's the word, doing my full potential. I think I'm saying that wrong, but getting to
No,
my
we
full
get you though.
potential, yeah.
We get you, Brittany, man. And again, the call's over. So if you guys want to leave, it's over. I can go a little over because I used to have a call at 6 that I don't have anymore. But Brittany, I got to tell you, so I was living in California. I was 23, right? And I wanted to buy property. Was very cheap in California at that time, and I wanted to get a condo, and you had to have $1,000 earnest money to even bid. I didn't have it, so I called my grandfather. He loaned me $1,000. I put the bid in, didn't get it. Luckily, I didn't get it because I shouldn't have been buying anything. But my buddy Jay, who I worked with at the time, I was like, dude, we made decent money. I don't even have $1,000. I was like, what the hell are we doing with our money? And so Jay, he was a UCLA grad. He's really into money. And we sat down and we just started charting where we spent our money. And it turned out at 23, when we hanging out, we going to breakfast, lunch, and dinner and drinks, and we doing all the things. So he and Jay is now a pilot with United. He went on, had a whole nother career. But we sat down and we made this commitment. We can only eat out once a week. We started eating breakfast at home. I would bring a sandwich, yogurt, and an apple every day. I got sick of eating that, but every day, right? And then we walked down. We were right in Westwood, right by UCLA. We walked down to Charles Schwab, and we opened up accounts. And we started buying drip accounts. Like we had Coca-Cola, IBM, Lockheed Martin, Edison, right? And so all the money, we learned how to save what we saved. Because I got sick and tired of my excuses. Like I want to buy a condo. I don't have any money. Like I got to get out of my own way. So we started taking that money we saved and we started putting that in stocks. That's how I bought Michelle's engagement ring from Coca-Cola stock. It's crazy.
That's
Anyhow,
awesome.
another story. But it was like,
say that I did the same. It's funny you said that. I did the same thing literally a couple of years ago. I literally spent like 2 hours rating everything that I spent money on that year. And I'm like, dang, I need to stop getting coffee. I need to stop eating out.
That's why I drink coffee at home now, because I was going to Starbucks, all the things, right? So I got sick of my excuses. I got sick of seeing other people win. I'm like, how he get a place? He don't make as much money as I do. What's going on? So you're right. You got to get to that point where you're sick of your own excuses, and then you start showing up for yourself. And every day, it's not, like I said, it's not going to be 100%. Literally for this script practice call, I don't know how you guys will rate my energy, but I'm at about a 40% right now. I had to drink this coffee because I've been working since 5 o'clock this morning. Like, I want to be here though. So I'm like, I'm going to give 100% of my 40. I hope I showed up okay today. And yet I'm here. I'm consistent because this is important to me. My business is important to me. And if I don't run it, if I don't show up, somebody else is going to eat my food. I don't want that. Somebody else is out there eating your food right now. You walk out your house and your neighbor is listed with the competition. You're like, what? But you didn't even go talk to your neighbor because you're letting fear get in the way. Like, you got to want it more than you fear. We got to take the action and do the work. And just know this. Who cares if you don't get the business? You ain't getting it anyhow. This is why I started Push, because I know you guys can go anywhere and learn scripts, right? Not anywhere, but you can go other places and learn scripts. what I do in my coaching is much more than that. It's the mindset. It's walking the journey with you. We are a tribe. I hope you guys feel like we're building something over here on school. Like this is a community where we push and support each other. It's not just about learning how to talk to a for sale by owner. If that's all it was, you can go anywhere. I hope you see this is more than that. And I truly want to see you guys do well. And I show up because I know if I can help you get what you want, I'm good. I will tell you, I'm tired of trying to get you to do what you need to do when you know what you should do and you know what's going to happen if you don't. We got to get out of our own way. I don't even know if I said that right. It sounded right in my head, but I'm so tired. I might have messed that all up. I don't know. Matt, go ahead. I'm going to let you talk so I can take a breather because I'm floating on caffeine right now.
Everybody worked a job before, right?
Yep.
Nod your head if you're on video so I can see. I have it all in gallery. Okay, cool. If you were your own boss, would you fire yourself based on the action you've done? If the answer is yes, get fucking going and start working because I'm coming for all your business. I'm not kidding either. If you're in northern New Jersey and you're bullshitting, I'm coming for it all. So, and I'm not saying that because I'm being a douche. There should be healthy competition amongst us because that's exactly how the business thrives. There's plenty for us to eat around here. I have 22,000 people in my town to serve. You think I can handle all of them? No.
No.
So either fire yourself and go flip burgers and pump gas or get on the phone and start calling people because there's $100,000 waiting 5 transactions away and you've got 365 days to do it. And everybody here snoozing, wondering why they make their 50 grand. The average agent makes $41,000 a year according to NAR. That's ridiculous.
You can make that work at McDonald's.
You can close your eyes and do double. You could do quadruple that, quintuple that, if you just know how to have a good conversation with some human beings.
Which is why we're practicing.
The phone is such bullshit. It's bullshit. It's a piece of plastic that sits between you and another human being. You know, every person on the internet's a keyboard warrior, and they wouldn't say half the shit they'd say to you to your person.
Amen.
And if they chase the nose, people, I promise you, I have to make 100 phone calls, bar none, hands down, stop minimum. My team did $100 million last year. We call 100 people a day. In my first 2 weeks, if you're on my team, you have to have 100 conversations in 2 weeks for 2 minutes or more.
That part.
You can do it. It's so easy. It really is.
And Matt, I love everything you said, and I got to tell you, man, I'm a little upset right now. Not at you, the way you said it, like your messaging, when you're like, "Get the fuck," I mean, it carries more weight.
Sorry,
and this lady lady reached out to
y'all.
me. It's just like, I love your content because I'm in my car with my kids and you never curse, and I just love listening. And I'm like, but sometimes I just want to go David Goggins and Gary Vee on them, but I hold back. And the fact that you just said it was so much more impactful, it's got me pissed off.
Right. Who's going to carry the boats? Right. Listen, I got to be honest with you. I'm not a real huge fan of like the rah-rahs and the thunder sticks and all that bullshit.
But it's real shit you're talking.
You guys are going to go to triple play and you know, I get all, I like to keep it real, man. Look,
yeah,
I'm 37 years old. I'm a husband. I'm a father of 3 children my kids are 8, 6, 4.
Bless your heart.
When you talk about your why, like every single day I do the shit that I need to do to show up as the human that I want them to interact with, whether they're marrying the man or my son's becoming the man. So that's the example I have. That like, and if I'm firing myself as a husband, I fire myself as a business owner, I fire myself as a parent. Like we gotta be firing ourselves and then rehire yourself and be like, okay, cool, you reapplied for the same job again, but you're a better version of yourself. Great, show up now, or I'm firing your ass again.
Again and again and again.
And you're gonna get sick and tired of being sick and tired, man. And that's like and you know, I promise you, if you're nervous about being on the phone and you're getting in your head and you're like, oh shit, what do I say? I don't know what the fuck to do, blah blah blah. Like I don't know what you believe in, but give it to whatever you believe in. Give it to God, give it to the internet, give it to the web, give it to, I don't know, give it to a Funko Pop. I don't care what you believe in. Disconnect from that shit and give it to them. And I promise you, you won't develop an ulcer. You'll have clarity in what you're trying to do, and you'll be able to scale your business, because the first problem you have is getting the first deal. The next problem you have is stacking a couple deals. And the third problem you have is scaling your business. And when you scale and you're trying to do 5, 10, 15, 20, $30 million a year, you're going to have to manage all those transactions. And
I feel
if
that.
you don't have the discipline to even just get up and do the basic task of managing your day to day,
Not gonna
you will
make it.
never be able to scale your business. I can be certain of that.
And
Oh,
Matt, I
shit.
love everything you said. And Stacey, I'm coming to you, so go ahead and unmute. The other thing you said about being a father, man, like our kids are watching us, and our kids watch Michelle and I get up every day and do our thing. My daughter's 17, and when I went into her job, her boss made a point to come over and it was like, Morgan is the best employee I ever had. I have her doing inventory. People who've been here 10 years don't do inventory. She has more responsibility than my full-time employees. And he gave everybody else 50-cent
Shit.
raise. He gave her $1.50 because how she shows up.
I
Michelle
love that.
just had a conference with Taylor's counselor at college, and they were like, everybody here thinks Taylor's a senior, and she's only a sophomore. She's doing this. She's doing the podcast. She's running this thing. They're like, wow, what you guys did, it's the example. Our kids are watching us, and when they see us, the biggest way to lose confidence, and I said that this morning on the video, is not keeping commitments you make to yourself. Stacey, I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna let you go, Stacey.
So I just have a question. I know that in one of the recordings that I watched, there's a lady named Andrea, I think it is, and she does cold calling sessions in
Yeah,
Jersey. So
yeah,
how would I get in contact with her? Because, you
yeah.
know,
She's on school, so you can message her here. But you have my phone number, right, Stacey?
I do not. I
I'm gonna
do
put it in
not.
the chat. Just send me a text and say, "Give me Andrea's number," and I'll text it over to you.
Okay, sounds good. And then if I want to do script practice, like get a partner, I could just put that in the chat and
I,
somebody.
yep. I
Okay.
would when I post this video, just put in there like, "Hey, I'm looking for a role play partner," or hell, guys, right now you got somebody who's trying to level up, and we got 20 something people on here.
Right.
Y'all ain't practicing your scripts enough. Y'all should be like me.
Yeah, I need a partner. Anybody?
Yeah, no alligator arms. Like I'm committed to
Yes.
practicing. Like y'all got somebody right here. Drop it in the. If you want a role play partner, drop your number in the chat. Anita said yes. I'll stay on for a minute.
I can't
So
do it.
when you guys see me post a video tomorrow morning, and I'll be like, I'm not doing the hook. I don't have a script. I'm about to drop some knowledge. I'm just gonna drop some knowledge.
Mm.
Wait a minute.
You got it?
Hey, David.
Yep.
I'm sorry, it's Penny. I'm driving, so
Hey,
bear
Penny.
with me. I got to tell you, like a coach's job, you were so good for giving us, what we need to move ahead. But please understand that the onus is on us to do what we need to do. So earlier I told you I wasn't there fully present. Yesterday, death number 2 came via text message while not wait, yesterday was Wednesday, while I was on the call in the morning. So, that kind of like, it really bummed me out, took me out. I listened to that, the recording of you and Brittany, and I was like, you know what? Put your big girl drawers on, get up, go to the gym. I put my real estate shirt on. I had one conversation about somebody about real estate. Today, I got up, I went to PT, I dropped off some bags, and although I wasn't fully present, I still showed up for the call. So if people aren't going to do it, you can't make us do it, right?
Nope.
It's on us.
Nope.
All
I
you can
know.
do is give us all the tools, and I am very grateful for that. I'll be quiet now. I share too much. Thank you.
No, you didn't share too much. And here's the reason. I sometimes feel like I'm a broken record, and I always feel like I'm talking about the basics, but the basics haven't changed. And I know sometimes I had to call your database about 500 times before I even started calling. So I know sometimes we got to hear it over and over again. And my job is to be CRO, your chief reminding officer, and remind you of the things that you need to be doing. Because if you're around me and then you're in my circle, you can't say I didn't know. I call bullshit on that all day because I say it all the time. You may not be listening, but You may not be doing it, but you know what you should be doing. That's the reason why I'm constantly saying the same things over and over again, because I know we need to hear it 100 times. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you for letting me share. And Matt, thank you for sharing. Everybody else, thank you for plugging in. More importantly, like Michelle was saying, tonight, plan your tomorrow and no excuses. Set the goal up, set up the commitment you're willing to make. Go do it. The streak challenge, if you fall off, get back on. You may not have the full month, but make yourself proud and have 10 days of the streak. The streak is the one activity that's going to make you money that you're committed to doing every day. You make you decide what that is, not me. But make the commitment and show up and do it.
If you guys were smart, you'd group up and hold each other accountable. And then if one of you falls off, you have a criteria of failure. You're off the island. That's how you should do it. That's your skin in the game. Find some high-level people who want to change their lives and do business, and then see who wants to jump on a 10-minute call once a week, twice a week. Set some metrics. If you fail, you're out.
High-level people is what he said. And remember this, complaining equals garbage magnet. You don't want to be around people complaining. You want to be around people who are doing. No excuses, people who are showing up no matter what. Because who you surround yourself with, a high tide raises all the ships, right? That's who you want to be with. So pay attention to the people on this call that are like showing up and speaking up and putting themselves out there and being willing to fumble, because they're the ones who are willing to learn and show up and put in the work and put in the reps, as we say. All right. Y'all have a good night. I'll see you guys in the morning for Let's Talk About It Thursday at 8:30. I'll be there. I'll be on time. I'm gonna look better though. I'm going to the barber at 7 o'clock in the morning, so I won't look as crazy tomorrow morning. So I'll see you guys then. Y'all be good. Have a good night.
Great call. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.